Welcome back to the Padilla Family Homestead and to the first week of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. If you are new to what the Every Bit Counts Challenge is, it is preserving something, even if it's just something little, every single day through the month of August. Now, I ended up starting this a little bit early, and I am not going to be preserving on Fridays. So on Monday, July 29th, I believe it was, I decided to make some quick pickles. I had harvested a bunch of miniature white cucumbers, and I did the brine that's equal parts vinegar and water, with a half a teaspoon of salt per cup of liquid, and then spices and things like that. And I got a half gallon of pickling spices into the fridge. This week was a busy one with my work schedule, and so I kept trying to find little things that I could plug in and do every day. And so one of the things that I did on Tuesday was just went through and prepped a bunch of different foods to freeze. And so you can preserve in any way. You can during the Every Bit Counts Challenge. You can go through and freeze, dehydrate, whatever. And so you'll see a combination of things over this month. I'll be posting different videos every week, showing what I am doing Saturday through Thursday, because Fridays I am not preserving because it's a very long day at work on Fridays. So I'm just giving myself that break. So here you see me go ahead and I'm bagging up my cherry tomatoes to freeze, and I'm chopping these jalapenos. Now, I can't touch seeds to jalapenos or the insides of them. If any of that gets on me, I burn for hours. So I'm going to grab a fork right here to pick up all these little pieces and put them in the Ziploc bag, because I just can't handle it. My husband usually is the one who chops up the jalapenos, but he wasn't available. So I ended up washing the knife and the board and then moved on to the non-hot peppers. And so I have some banana peppers and some jalapenos I'm going to chop up. And then I'll be cleaning up my tomatoes that are getting a little too ripe and getting those ready to go in the freezer. Some green beans and a couple pieces of okra. Now, I do this because sometimes I have more stuff come in than I can eat at that moment. We had the majority of the people in our household not home during this week. And so there was a lot of produce available and not a lot of people to eat it. And so I can utilize all these things in the future. The cherry tomatoes can be used to roast and add to pastas. You can make and turn these regular tomatoes into pasta sauces, is what I do. The peppers can be added to be sauteed or into soups, and you can add them into just any recipe you would normally add peppers into. Just add them in frozen. And then the green beans are great sauteed after being frozen. And so we do that a lot. I really like that. And the okra I'm also going to be popping in for stir fries or soup or whatever else. Days like today are days that help eliminate food waste for me, because I find that it's the little things that end up going bad. There'll be a tomato or two that don't get eaten. There's going to be a few green beans that get wilty. There's going to be stuff that happens. And so by taking care of all these little pieces that would have gone bad, that's, I think, what the whole purpose of the Every Bit Counts Challenge is all about. Some of my beans had gotten a little bigger, and so when they get too big, what I do is I pop out the beans and I freeze those separately, and then I can add those to dishes as well, or just cook them up if we end up with enough of them, which we didn't have enough for a meal. So we'll just saute some up, add it to any recipe, soup or anything like that. If you want to see more videos from people who are also participating in the Every Bit Counts challenge, you can search on YouTube or on Instagram and look for that hashtag and find all kinds of inspiration. Three Rivers hosts this, and she does this all August long, and it's inspiring, and with a busy schedule, I think it's a great way to be productive and to do the best you can, and put some food up for the winter or the fall, or stop things from going bad. For me on this day, I was able to do a lot more things because I was actually off. So I did some gardening, I went outside and I harvested a bunch of stuff. I had time to clean it and prep it and put it all away, which was really good. So when I freeze things, I like to put them into Ziploc bags. Now, I like to put them single layer first and let them freeze so they're not attaching and clumping up, so you don't get a huge brick of green beans out. So you're going to see here, I took some green beans out of one bag and combined them into another. Then I'm reusing this bag, getting all the air out, and then I'm going to spread all the beans out to hopefully get them to where they're not touching. And then as much as possible. Then I pop that in the freezer, let it freeze solid, and then I'll combine it in and use that bag again. Do the same thing with the peppers. The tomatoes are fine. And of course the hot peppers I have to label, because I don't want anybody getting a hot pepper on accident. And this is what I did on Tuesday, July 30th. The next day's project is a fun one. I actually have a video that'll be coming out later this week with all the full instructions on this. But I had ordered some bulk Ceylon cinnamon, and it hadn't been prepped or anything like that. So I got this in a bulk order at 7 ounces. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm roasting it at 300 degrees for 10 minutes to release some of the flavors. And then I'm going to make a cinnamon extract, and I'm going to make cinnamon powder, just ground cinnamon. And so both of these were able to be put up. This project did not take me long. I had worked in the morning and I did this in the afternoon. It just took me roasting them, letting the cinnamon cool, and then putting these two things together. So I'm really excited to have this extract on hand for Christmas baking, as well as the ground cinnamon. I highly suggest watching the video that's going to come out on this, because I go into a lot more detail, kind of where I order these cinnamon sticks from, the type of cinnamon that I suggest using, what grinder I'm using, all of those things. So that will be coming out, I believe, on Friday of this week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I was really excited because I just got this grinder in that day and I was able to use it. So it worked out. And I will have to say, the house smelt delicious doing this project. It absolutely smelled like fall. Now the next day was a super busy, super hot day, and my clip is very short. And so I ended this week on Thursday, August 1st. And I just grabbed harvested some pineapple sage, and I dehydrated it. And that's how I'm going to leave you, is with this. We'll see you back here next Monday for next week's projects.